I recently hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. And if there's any physical representation of the biggest lesson that I've learned over this 2-year journey, it's this. $500 worth of podcasting gear down the drain. Okay, not down the drain, but let me explain. About 1.5 years ago, me and my friend decided to buy our own podcasting gear. We'd been going strong with the podcast, and we felt that it would be a good investment to buy our own equipment rather than renting it out from the university week in and week out. And this sounds good in theory, right? I mean, everyone always tells you to invest in yourself when you're young. Invest in the SME 500 rather than the S&P 500. I don't know, because just a couple months later, me and my friend decided to stop the podcast. We both had our individual reasons for discontinuing, but for me specifically, the podcast just wasn't really enough views. I preferred to make long format videos that helped me grow my channel far better. The problem is I spent all this money on this podcasting gear and I don't know what to do with any of it now. And this taught me 3 valuable lessons on being a beginner YouTuber. Number 1, master the basics. When you're first getting started, there's going to be this voice in your head telling you to buy new equipment. You're going to want to buy a fancy new camera. You're going to want to buy that fancy lens, that camera stand, new microphone, drone, etc. And I'm going to tell you right now that you have everything you need in front of you. And I'm definitely a hypocrite for saying this. After all, I bought all the podcasting gear. I bought a camera. I bought the microphones, but I had to learn the hard way that not all the stuff was worth buying, and it definitely wasn't necessary to get to 1,000 subs. Some might argue that all this equipment would actually hinder your growth. I believe that when you keep things simple, working with your phone camera, maybe a phone stand, and a basic editing software like iMovie, you can get very good at the fundamentals. And I say master these fundamentals. Prioritize speaking in front of a camera, the basic use of audio, lighting, and editing. Because the truth is, you're gonna suck at these when you first start. But by limiting yourself to these basic aspects of the process, you can get very good at the fundamentals and build a good foundation. This will prevent you from getting overwhelmed and burning out. And to me, this is 90% of the work towards making a good video. There are a lot of free resources out there, resources that I still use with all my equipment. I use Adobe Enhance to take my audio from sounding like this, where you can hear all the background noise, to sounding like this. I also use DaVinci Resolve to edit my videos, which is completely free. And before that, I used iMovie, which is also completely free. I also use Canva for help editing, as well as creating thumbnails. And while I pay for the premium version, there's a lot you can do with the free version. The reason I'm telling you this is that when you force yourself to work with what you have and the resources available to you online, you not only save a lot of money, but you also get a good idea of understanding what is actually worth investing in. I had to learn this the hard way. After all of these purchases and dozens of videos later, I realized which pieces of equipment were actually worth it for me and which just weren't. Number 3, prove it to yourself. By not buying equipment until you hit that 1,000 subscriber mark, you prove to yourself that this isn't just a phase. This is something you are genuinely passionate about, and making videos is something worth spending time and money on. And once you've proven that to yourself, then you can invest in that high quality equipment that can take you from that 90% mark to the 95% or higher. I say it's good to invest in ourselves, but first we have to prove that we are worth investing in. That's all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. I know there's gonna be a few caveats to this. Obviously, if you have a film channel or are working on your cinematography, you probably wouldn't live by these rules. So if you take anything from this video, I just say keep things simple. Simplicity is always mastery. Also, I just want to thank the nearly 1,300 of you that have allowed me to hit this 1,000 subscriber milestone. It's a small milestone, but it's still a significant one. If you're curious about the direction that this channel is taking, I plan on making more challenge videos like this one, and more creative style videos like the one I made earlier this year. Also, who knows, I actually loved podcasting, and in the distant future, I might decide to bring it back. So, if you want to stay tuned on this adventure, I recommend you hit that subscribe button and turn on that post notification bell. That's all for today, guys. Thanks for watching. Now get off the internet.